Hey everyone, Brandon from Brandon's Baseball Cards here. Today I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to spot fake rack packs on eBay. Now, just like any other unopened material, there are sometimes fake rack packs that do show up on eBay. These are rack packs that are not authentic, that have been essentially constructed by individuals, and they try to pass them off as legitimate rack packs. So I'm going to use this example of a 1983 Topps rack pack with Ryan Sandberg rookie card on top to kind of demonstrate what you need to look for when you're trying to determine if you're buying a legitimate rack pack or not. The first and most obvious thing to look for, especially if it's a relatively expensive rack pack, is if the rack pack has been authenticated by Baseball Card Exchange or not. You will see in this rack pack here, this has been authenticated. It is in the Baseball Card Exchange wrap. This means that Steve Hart has looked at this rack pack, this 83 Topps rack with a Ryan Sandberg rookie on top, and Steve has determined that this is a authentic unopened rack pack with the Sandberg rookie on top. So very quick way, right away to tell if you are dealing with a legitimate pack or not. It's not to say that packs that haven't been authenticated aren't real, but you can have confidence that you are buying an authentic rack pack because of the Baseball Card Exchange logo and the fact that Steve Hart has examined it. Another thing to look for, okay, you can use examples of authenticated rack packs to determine what an authentic pack should look like. So for example, the vast majority of 1983 Topps rack packs with Ryan Sandberg on top. In the majority of these packs, the Sandberg rookie is in this final cell, the cell furthest away from the top of the rack. This is where the Sandberg usually, not always, but usually should be. You'll see the top of the rack pack up here. The Sandberg should be all the way down at the bottom most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. So we have this authentic example here. We can now look at another example currently for sale on eBay. This is a Ryan Sandberg top rack pack. Odds are this is authentic, right? This hasn't been wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange, but this does appear. We do need to look at the collation patterns in these other two cells, right, to determine if, with confidence, if this is legit or not. But odds are this is legitimate. We should still be weary before buying something like this, given the price tag. These are not cheap, but I would be comfortable buying this pack, okay? Because again, placement of the key card it's in the right cell. Odds are it's legitimate. It's not certain, right? We do need to send this. If I were to buy this, the first thing we do would be to send this to Baseball Card Exchange so Steve could look at it to determine if it's authentic. But I would be comfortable making this purchase. Now, contrast this pack with a pack that is also currently on eBay. For starters, this is a 1983 Topps, allegedly an unopened rack pack with Tony Gwynn and Ryan Sandberg both on top. Okay, right away we should be skeptical here because two key rookies on top, okay, is very, very unlikely. Very unlikely. It's not to say it's not legit or that there aren't legit packs with these two on top, but they're very unlikely. Okay, so we should be even more weary because this has not been authenticated by Steve Hart. Again, this is not in the BBCE wrapping. We should be very weary. The other thing to keep in mind, if you'll notice, where's the Sandberg in this one? It's in the cell closest to the header. This is very uncommon to have this card in this cell. Very uncommon. We should be very, very hesitant about purchasing this pack. The Tony Gwynn is frequently in the middle, but as we've already seen in the other examples, including in the Baseball Card Exchange authenticated example, this Sandberg ideally should be in this cell furthest from the header. Okay, so looking at collation like this and learning a little bit about where key cards can appear is a very, very important way to determine if you're actually dealing with an authentic pack. I would not touch this pack. It has a lot of watchers and somebody's bid. I'm watching it just to see am I watching it? I'm not watching it right now. I am curious to see how much attention this does get. And this, I'm not saying it isn't authentic. It could be, but we need to be very skeptical and careful when buying these types of material that have not been authenticated. And to give me even more cause for concern, this particular seller has a lot. Number one, their feedback score is very low. They haven't been on eBay very long. But in addition to that, they have other rack packs that are very, very suspect. To give you an example, they also have a 1979 Topps rack pack with Ozzie Smith's rookie showing on top. Okay, this is problematic, and there's a reason it only has one bid with the starting bid of $145. If this is authentic, this is easily roughly $1,000 rack pack, give or take. But there's a problem here. Authentic Ozzie Smith rack packs with Ozzie Smith on top will always be in the cell closest to the header. Always. With no exceptions that I've ever, well, let me with the caveat, I've never seen an authentic rack pack with Ozzie Smith on top where he wasn't in the cell closest to the header. He's in the one down here. This is from the same seller. You need to be very, very weary in learning a little bit about collation and where key cards appear. Is a great way to make sure you're making informed purchases when you buy an open product. Be very careful. Take Steve Hart's advice and be very, very careful. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this has been informative. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep collecting vintage baseball.